Good. Thanks for making it work. Appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry about all the scheduling.
You're good, man. You're good. Let's go BJ, Bob, and then Adam.
You're not like flying down Broadway while you do this, are you, Riley?
No, I'm parked.
So, sweet.
So
What you know, you guys have lost 2 in a row in the blue. I don't have to remind you that, but I guess how bad does that still sit with you guys? And you know, it's such a big deal to protect the blue. And I know we asked you about it last week, but how big of a deal is that to get back on the winning track at home?
I mean, we're coming off of a big win last week, and we're hoping that we can continue to carry over that energy and the mindset that we had from last week into this week. And I think we've done a great job at doing that. We understand that, you know, that it's a standard to win on the blue, and that, you know, we haven't been able to do that as much as we would like this season. So it's a great opportunity again for us to go into this week and get a win against Air Force.
How fun or not fun is it having to play Air Force? You know, they obviously run the ball a lot. They take a lot of time of possession. They're on the field a lot. You know, what's it like playing against Air Force?
Honestly, from a linebacker standpoint, I would say it's pretty fun. There's a lot of action. From a, you know, cornerback DB standpoint, I mean, there's still a lot of action in their part, but there's not obviously as much pass game that they have to worry about. So from a linebacker standpoint, I love it. They have a lot of different parts to their offense, but at the end of the day, if you just lock into your keys, it is pretty simple. So it's fun. It really comes down to, you know, who's the most physical team. And that's what I've always loved about playing Air Force each and every year.
How do you look at the Mountain West? Obviously, you guys are still kind of in control of your own destiny there, and that's the goal. And I know there's, you know, obviously still 6 games left in conference, but if you know that if you take care of business, you're still going to be in that championship game, even though maybe the first, you know, 3-3 record or whatever isn't what you guys wanted. So how do you look at, like, you know, the whole season still being ahead of you guys in terms of your goals?
Yeah, I mean, we're well aware that the goals that we set as a team before the season even started are still in front of us, and something that we can still accomplish. And so we just don't want to get ahead of ourselves and look at, you know, the whole season. As of right now, we're just taking it one game at a time and trying to focus on the small details, fix the things that we need to, so that we can win, you know, each game, each week that we come upon it. So if we just take it one game at a time, you know, there's no doubt in my mind that I have the confidence in our team to be able to, you know, win the rest of our games and go into the Mountain West Championship.
And final one for me, how do you keep this from being a letdown? You guys obviously had the huge win against BYU, but it doesn't help you, you know, this week in this game. So how do you guys put that behind you and, you know, try to avoid, you know, an upset on the blue?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about that, and, you know, we talk about the 24-hour rule and how, you know, we were able to celebrate the BYU win, but at the end of the day, we're on to the next week, and nobody cares about that anymore. So, you know, the game that we need to be worried about is the game that's ahead of us, and that's against Air Force. So we need to be, you know, doing everything that we can at this time to put ourselves in a position where we can go out and be successful.
Thanks, Riley. Good luck.
Thank you, BJ.
Riley, before I have some questions, is this your 4th or 5th time against Air Force?
This is going to be my 5th time.
Okay. So you've played them as much or as more as than anybody in the conference or in the country. What do you know about playing Air Force now that you didn't know before game 1?
I mean, I think every year we play them, their offense gets faster. Things happen really fast. And that's something that we always talk about from a defensive standpoint, is that the scouts aren't going to be able to match the speed that Air Force plays with. And, you know, it stands true every time we play them. The very first possession the Air Force has the ball, things are happening so fast. And, you know, you really just have to have great eye control, because if you don't, you're going to get caught up in everything that's going on in the backfield. And next thing you know, the ball is going to be 20 yards behind you, and you're not going to know that it was 20 yards behind you. So the key to this game is staying disciplined. You know, a lot of what we do is going to be the same. But if we can stay disciplined and have great eye control, there's no doubt in my mind that we can come out on top again this year.
Everybody talks about the scheme and the style and doing your job. But when you look at the Air Force offensive players, how much does their style change based on the personality and skills and strengths of the different guys, different years?
I mean, at the end of the day, Air Force, in my opinion, is always done the same thing. They're successful at it, and so they've continued to do that. Obviously, there's little changes here and there, but for the most part, I mean, they have the pitch player, the cue to pitch, the quarterback, the dive. Those are all aspects of their offense, and as long as each of us on the defensive side of the ball does our part, our 111th, then we're going to be able to be, we'll put ourselves in a position to be successful. So the problem is when people don't execute and do their 111th, that's when Air Force is able to break free, get, explosive plays. And so the key for us this week is to be disciplined and to have great eye control.
And how difficult is it week to week in college getting different types of offenses? Because in the pros, it seems like everything looks pretty much the same, and maybe personnel makes a bigger difference than scheme. But in college, if you change channels every 5 or 6 times down during the day in college, you're going to see something different on TV every week.
Yeah, no, for sure. It can be difficult at times, but our coaches do a great job at providing us with a plan and a process. So, after the game on Saturday, Sunday, we get in and, we start looking into what the team does that we're going to be playing that week. So, from Sunday all the way through, Friday or Thursday, whenever the game is, we're working at what we need to do in order to put ourselves in a position to be successful. And the coaches do a great job at prepping us. And so, maybe throughout the week, we don't feel as confident against the things that we're getting, but by the end of the week and even leading up into game time, our confidence is where it needs to be. And we're able to go out there and play fast.
Thanks, Riley. Good luck this week.
Thank you, Bob. Take care.
Hey, Riley. I was just thinking, some players, they kind of care about their appearance on the field. And I was just wondering if you kind of believe in like the look good, feel good, play good mentality.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, whatever makes you believe that you're going to play your best, you should do it. I know a lot of guys have processes that they go through, things that they do before games, during games that help them lock in. And so whatever it is that you need to do in order to lock in or, have the swagger that you need, I feel like you should definitely do it because, I feel like every guy has, something different that they do to help them lock in. And I would definitely say that helps a ton.
Also, I know sometimes that the school kind of gives you your number, but I was just wondering if there's any like kind of background behind why you wear number 44.
So originally I came in and I was number 46. And at that time I was on kickoff and Joel Velasquez is our kicker and he's number 46. So obviously you can't have two of the same number on the field. So anyway, Dell ended up giving me 44, and come to find out that number 44 used to be Darren Lee's number, who actually was my host on my official visit. And so I got to meet Darren Lee and got to know him a little bit, went to a movie with him actually. And so, 44 is a great number and I've enjoyed being able to wear it and carry on what Darren Lee had left.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Adam.
Well, Will and Steve.
Riley, what's the best part of playing Air Force?
I love the physicality when it comes down to it. Obviously, we know they run the ball a lot, so it comes down to who's going to impose their will on one another, and I love that part about it. We know they're going to run the ball the majority of the time, so it's up to us to be physical and impose our will on them. And obviously, we don't want them to gain a lot of yards, but if we can be physical, I think we're going to do a great job at stopping the run.
One last one for me, a guy that plays in front of you, Herbert Gums. We saw him into the lineup last week. What's he give you guys on that defensive line?
Yeah, I mean, looking back into the summer, just the things that Herbert Gums is able to do, through agility drills, he moves extremely well for his size. And so the quickness and speed that he has with his size, I feel like is a huge strength to our defense. Offensive linemen tend to struggle with speed and quickness when it comes to, the different movements that we have. And so to be able to incorporate him into that is going to be great for us. And, he has a lot of potential and a lot of growth. And I think that his work ethic is going to allow him to achieve that potential.
Thanks, Riley.
Thanks, Will.
Hey Riley, I remember, I think that might have been like 3 years ago that the fans down there for Air Force were chanting your name, and I was wondering if that gives you any extra kind of motivation, emotion to kind of remember them giving you such a send off, even though it feels like forever ago.
Yeah, no, that was a while ago, but I mean, I feel like every year Air Force comes around, it feels like just yesterday that we were down there and that happened. But no, I've always loved the atmosphere of being able to play down there with all the cadets there. Obviously they do a lot for our country, and so to be able to be around them is something that I'm not going to take for granted. But that was a special moment, and that's something that I'll never forget.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Any follow-ups before we let Riley go? All right, Riley, appreciate you making it work. We'll see you Saturday.
Awesome. Thank you, Craig. Take care, guys.
Thanks, Riley.